an AC anyways. They can just hear me. I'll just
Hello,
pop in.
everybody.
Hi, family and friends. And wow, we're doing a live. We haven't done a live in like forever and a day.
Yes.
But thank you for joining us today.
Today, we some friends of ours.
Oh, sorry.
Don't shake
I don't know what the camera thing is.
They finally got to take their honeymoon. They went to Disney World. So I thought it'd be nice to invite them on and find out how it went.
Yeah, because he's been dying to see how their little honeymoon went.
Say hello to our friends Doug and Tara.
Hi. There it is.
A little background. I used to work with Doug. Where's he at? There he is.
So we keep moving. I haven't found the sweet spot.
And yeah, Doug was actually supposed to be my replacement guy until he decided to abandon me and move to Columbus. But anyway.
That's me. That's, you know.
And Doug was actually my first person to ever ask me, "Are you going down there again?" So now I get to ask him that. But anyway, Tara, she used to work at the local GameStop, and that's where I met her. She actually knows my kids too, because they used to stop in there. And Melinda, she knows Doug as Oliver Queen.
Yes, he reminds me so much of Oliver Queen. Because Doug even is all dressed up, he looks exactly like the Green Arrow. Green Arrow, yes.
Yeah, and Doug was my superhero buddy at work. We talked about movies and the shows, not so much the comics, but so when he left, I still have nobody to talk to. But,
so this is his first time really talking with Doug and Tara.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah, because he's been dying to ask questions.
So first of all, Doug, I have to ask: are you working?
I had 2 interviews yesterday, and I got offered a job from the one, and that's not the one I wanted. I mean, it's a good one, but I really like what the other job offered me, and that interview went really well, and that one was 2 hours long. And I think because it was Friday, like they're like, we're going to give you a call Monday. The other one was like, hey, let's do this right now. But I was like, so I'm hoping to hear back from the second one Monday, and if not, I'll have to call the other one. But hopefully soon I'll be working, because I can only vacuum the floor and clean the house so often to feel productive.
Makes an excellent house husband.
I do. Unfortunately, that doesn't really pay the bills.
So as you can tell, Doug and Melinda have something in common. They both went to Disney without a job.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's a terrible way to...
Because it's so easy to spend so much money in Disney. It really is.
Yes.
So, Tara, you're still at the same job, I assume?
I am, and I love it. I love what I do. I see, you know, the elderly people still, and it's nice knowing that I work for a company that still is all about patient care as well as their quality of life. And the fact that I work for a family company, we're under 100 employees, and we are so focused on improving and enhancing the quality of someone's life, no matter what their age is. And it's just such a good feeling, because I went from working in a hospital to where we were trying to find placement for them and get them better to, okay, now you're better. Now you're back at your home. What can we do to keep you home rather than in a hospital or in a nursing home if they're not in a nursing home already?
Oh, wow.
So you're Doug, try to explain it. You're like a recruiter or something like that?
I'm a marketer, so my job is to get acknowledgement and get our name out there in the city that we're in, and just let people know what separates us from other companies that do physical therapy, occupational therapy, and nursing. So what I do is I go to a facility and say, here's who we are, here's how we can help you. Do you want us to come in once a week, twice a week to help you improve the quality of your life? And that's where they say yes. And then that's really what I do. I'm a marketer.
Let's jump in the chat here. Who we got? We got Megan. Hello, Megan. How you going?
Hello, Megan.
And we got Fun Fiero.
Hi, Liz and
Hi,
Andy.
guys.
Hi, guys.
Okay, let's get to the.
So let's get down to the Disney part.
Yeah.
So
first question I gotta ask.
Well, you gotta have the background history. So Doug, this was your first time being at Disney, correct?
Yes, it was.
And Tara, this was like
second?
So I went to, I think it was Disneyland up in California.
Okay.
And that was one day, and I'm pretty sure that was like the Magical Kingdom section, which from what I remember kind of had everything in one. I vaguely remember walking in and like the castle being there in the middle, but then you angle to the right and it was like the space section where they had the Buzz Lightyear ride, and they also had the Star Wars shops. So it was like space was kind of all built in one. And then I remember to the left of the park was like the Haunted Mansion. So it wasn't, I don't think it was sectioned like this one was, where you had Epcot and you had Magical Kingdom, Animal Kingdom. It was almost like all in one. Yeah.
So
it was your first time.
Okay,
great. This is awesome.
Okay, the first question I have to ask: what did you do with all your cats? Because you got like 5 cats.
Yes.
My cousin and her sister took turns making sure that they didn't lock themselves in a room and had food and water and all that stuff. So, so they survived. I mean, we never heard the end of it by the time I got home with, the random piles of kitty puke, and the meowing and howling at us was always fun. So,
and what's funny is like he was so cute and getting them all set up. Like in the kitchen, there were like 4 pans of water, including the water fountain downstairs.
Well, there's 5 of them.
They were not going to starve or dehydrating.
I had food stashed all over. They all survived. It's fine.
Yes.
Okay. You can ask the official first question.
Okay. So everybody is like so worried about the transportation from the airport to the resorts or to Disney property. What transportation did you guys what did you guys use for your transportation, and how was it?
We used the Mears bus that you sent me the link to, because it was the day or 2 days before, and we're like, we have no idea how to get there.
Our travel agent I think she got really busy. I get it because, nicer weather's coming up, summer's coming up, and that's when everybody starts taking their trips. I think it was 4 days before I finally saw our message. I was like, hey, our magic bands never came in, and we have no idea how we're going to get to and from the airport. It turned out our flight had changed.
Yeah, luckily we checked, because our flight ended up being an hour and a half sooner than our itinerary told us. So it was a good thing we checked.
Yeah.
It was like that probably didn't help try to get things situated. But yeah, once we had the right time, and then she went on the link for the Mears thing, we just got it from the resort or the airport to the resort, and that wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't bad at all. It was super easy. Like the guy that ran the bus asked where you're going to go, and then he put your suitcase in accordingly into the bus. And they were super clean. You needed to wear a mask the entire time you were on the bus, and you're not supposed to eat or drink because, it's sanitary purposes. And then once you got off, we were good to go. And then from there, the Mears buses were not running on the weekend for some reason. So we got
from the resort back to the airport. So we just ended up getting an Uber back from the resort to the airport. But even then, that wasn't too bad.
It wasn't even, I think, honestly, we tipped him nicely because he picked us up at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, it was pretty early.
Even then, it was still $10 more to get an Uber to the airport than it was.
Well, I think that, and we just didn't know how to work the Mears website, because we wanted just a taxi or whatever, and it kept taking us to the luxury high-end thing. And I'm like, we don't need a limo to get from the resort to the airport.
Working it from my phone was a nightmare, and I think that was part of the problem.
That was part of it too. So an Uber worked just as good.
So did you pay up front for a round trip with Mears?
No.
Because
I wasn't really sure.
So yeah, we just paid for just to get us to the resort. We figured once we get to the resort, then we'll worry about how we're going to get back.
Yeah. I was a lot more comfortable. Maybe it's because of the Uber driver we had. I was a lot more comfortable with the Uber itself, because the guy had a soccer mom van, and he had it plastic off, which I've actually been seeing around the city quite often. People who have, taken taxis and whatnot have plastic behind them separating you from the driver. And it was super clean, super roomy. And he just was like, where are you going to go? Okay. Then you're good. Didn't talk to us, nothing. It was just, he was mega focused.
This wasn't his first time doing it.
No. So yes, Fun Fiera, They didn't pay for the round trip.
No, they just did that one trip.
Yeah.
Oh, there was.
And what else did they ask? Oh, we used the lift and actually saved money.
Oh,
yeah.
5 a.m.
Wow.
We couldn't figure out how to work the Uber. We were going to use the Lyft, but again, that was the first time. I'm like, I have no idea how any of this worked because, well,
Yeah, that's how we were.
Yeah, that's how we were.
So I signed up for Lyft and I tried to figure it out and I couldn't figure it out. And
they would go to the wrong resort.
Yeah.
It was,
I would recommend Uber because when you open up the map, it actually shows you the vehicles of people that are sitting and waiting for business, really.
Oh.
You gonna ask something?
Yeah, which resort did you guys go to?
The Coronado.
Ooh,
10 out of 10 would totally stay there again.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? It wasn't too big for you guys? I mean, it's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, and they have you walk downstairs and there's coffee there every morning, all day.
Yeah.
And it was Spanish coffee, so.
It was. Yeah, it was nice with the lake behind it, the little walking trail, just all the other restaurants and whatnot. And they were playing the first night we were there. Well, we knew we accounted for it, but I have allergies pretty bad, so we expected that first day there that I was going to be out for the count.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. So we accounted for it. So in the airport, I'm taking Benadryl, sinus pills, and I got there and I felt pretty good. We were playing with the big chess and checker things out there, and we walked around a little bit. And probably an hour or two, I'd say, after we got there, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go lay down for a little bit," and then I don't remember the next like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, I think he slept like 10 hours.
So it was. I knew that first night was gonna be a little rough, but when we got up, somebody was like, "Let's go for a night walk because we're used to 20-degree weather in Ohio and it's like 60 degrees." So they were playing. Was it Hercules?
Yeah, they were playing Disney movies. Like it was the tail end of Hercules, and by the time we walked around the boardwalk,
their little trail thing.
Yeah, the trail. They were playing, I think, Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, they had like the big inflatable screen. They had taken all the chairs, which we found it wasn't real grass because when we first got there, we were sitting outside, and we had to get coffee. And I'm like, this grass looks very nice. So somebody nonchalantly starts pulling at you. He goes, yeah, it's fake grass.
So how long was your honeymoon? Was it just a week?
Yeah, Sunday to Saturday. We landed in on a Sunday, and then we
landed in on Monday.
Oh, it was a Monday. Yeah,
we landed
Monday to Saturday.
So 4 days, not counting the travel days, I guess. So Tuesday to Friday.
Which I definitely recommend, so that way, because you're going to be gone all day, and then, where did y'all stay at the resort? Oh,
we stayed in the big tower.
You were in the tower.
In the tower.
And we were on the front of it, so we could see the Hollywood Studios sign. We could see the Epcot ball. So we saw the fireworks every night from the bedroom window. Well,
there you go.
We literally just got to sit right there and watch it the whole time. So, which was nice because we were whooped by like 6 o'clock every night from all the walking. So we just went back and watched cable television and watched fireworks every night. So that worked out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
Anything else about the resort? I mean,
I honestly, I don't know about the other ones because we passed the cheaper ones and they looked a little like run down. I remember even looking at Doug saying, I'm really glad that we stayed at the Coronado. Yeah, the other ones were cheaper, but you can definitely tell that the people that stayed at the other resorts that were a step down were ones that had a lot of kids and they couldn't afford, to go a little bit more higher quality. What's nice is the fact that we didn't have kids, so we were able to just focus on us and our time.
We weren't stuck on a 6-year-old's pace or temper tantrums, so that was very nice.
And the Coronado I mentioned had the coffee bar, which they also served alcohol, but there was a store, so we were able to go get anything that we forgot, which really was just more sinus medication for him.
And Doritos.
And a
lot of Doritos.
But the stores have anything from like clothes to like medications. Like you saw anything from Tums to like painkillers to.
I'm sure a lot of them have that too. It was nice because then we never had to leave to go find any of it. We just had to go there, so that was nice.
And the one lady, what was nice too, is they're super helpful. And as long as you let them know that you're first timers, they're like, hey, look, if he doesn't get better off of the Advil, sinus, and pain relief, they handed me a card, and you're able to get something delivered from like a Walgreens or a Walmart or something.
I must have been napping because I don't
You
remember.
were sleeping, yeah.
I don't remember that part.
Don't worry, Doug. I do plenty of that when I'm down there too.
And then get yourself one of these bad boys for sure. Like anybody watching, get yourself one of these. They're the resort mug. You get X amount of refills.
Unlimited.
Unlimited. I think they.
No, it's unlimited.
Oh,
Unlimited.
For your stay.
Yeah, for many long days you have it. Yeah.
Because $4 waters are going to kill your bank account. So I constantly got one of these, and I filled it up with ice. And by the time we got back, it was nice to have it melted. Or you can go down into one of the restaurants and just refill the water, because seriously, like, I don't drink sodas or anything like that. And we got the liquid IVs to make sure we stayed hydrated. But that saved us so much money.
Well, that, and then we would buy one $4 liter of water, and then would just go and either fill it. You could get water, or they would, if you asked for water, they would give it to you. Or we just use the drinking fountains at the rest things and just fill it up that way. Because $4 of water got expensive. Really.
Oh yeah.
And I think it was $20, but I looked at Doug after day 2. I was like, $20 is going to be worth it, because
you're going to spend $30 in water. So.
Oh yeah.
So you guys went to all 4 parks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's start going like day by day, like what you did on day 1, that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, day 1 was the resort, where we just kind of walked around the resort, got to know the resort, the stores. We ate at the restaurants at the resort, and then day 2 was Animal Kingdom.
Well, the first park was Animal Kingdom. Yeah, that was day 2. Because the Disney app kind of had it set the other ones, and it had us going to Hollywood Studios first. And I told her, I was like, well, this is our first go. We didn't know how any of it worked. I was like, let's see if we can switch it, because the Animal Kingdom, that was like the one we were least excited for.
Were you guys using the Genie thing?
The Genie app? No.
No.
Okay. We didn't use the Disney app, because I noticed the Genie thing kept popping up, and it wanted us to pay, I think, $15 a day to use it. And we're like, it's just us. We weren't pressed for time. We get there morning, like when it opened to close. So we just kind of winged it. But they have maps, and it was really cool having like.
We were probably the only young people still using the maps. Like everybody's on their phones, not looking at the map. Like, let's go this way, and I'm like, nobody else is doing that.
It's like the old people that you see in the movies.
Yeah, we were officially the old people looking at the map, trying to figure out, well, we'll go here and here. Everybody's on their phone. I'm like, no, we use the map. It's fine. So
the second day was Animal Kingdom, and then.
Okay, Doug, I remember you asking me about Animal Kingdom, and I'm like, it's not our favorite, but I wouldn't tell you not to go. Did you like Animal Kingdom?
I mean, it was fun. I mean, it was just a really big zoo. The safari was the best part. And we did the safari. That we waited probably the longest for that one, but every line really wasn't that bad. I mean, the app said it was like an hour. And I mean, they do really good about keeping you moving. Yeah. Like you're not sitting there for long periods of time. So like we waited for it, and that was the best part of it. I enjoyed the safari. I would do that again. And then we ate at the Rainforest Cafe just outside, and that was probably of all the places we went, that was my favorite. So I really enjoyed the food there. I liked how they had the really weird shaped aquariums in there. The random thunderstorms that they'd have, like where they dim the lights on. That was fun. Like it was probably the best food, and I enjoyed that. I told her I would go back, not even go to Animal Kingdom, just take the bus to eat there again.
And can I say all the restaurants that we went to, because honestly, between him and I, we spent more money on food than anything, because I'm a collector, but we didn't really see anything that we wanted. But anyway, the restaurants, every restaurant we went to, they always asked if you had food allergies. And I thought that was super considerate, because I have a lot of food sensitivities. And for someone to automatically ask, is there a food allergy in the group, was actually really considerate. And the menus always had something to cater towards your dietary needs. Yeah. And the Rainforest Cafe was definitely, I think, my favorite out of all of them, because they have very healthy choices.
I ate cheeseburgers, double cheeseburgers, every place. And I felt it every night, but it was awesome.
What time did you guys get to Animal Kingdom, or like did you were like early with all the parks?
Yeah, I think
we got there around 10 because we weren't really sure how it worked. They're like, "Oh, the buses are that way," and we're like, "Oh, okay, thanks." And we look at each other like, "What does that mean?" So like we had no idea. So we're like, "Well, let's just follow these people. They look like they know what they're doing." And then we kind of saw how it worked, and then we had to wait for the bus and whatnot. So after the first day, we were pros. We're like, "Oh yeah, the buses are that way. We know what we're doing." But so I'd say we got there around 10 o'clock or so.
Yeah.
Just because
Did you guys do Pandora?
We walked through that one. I've only ever seen the movie once. So the Avatar, like it looked cool, and we kind of walked. We're like, that's cool.
It was like a fairy world. Like,
and we're like, okay.
I felt like I should have been in one of my fairy cosplays walking through there, and I would so well. But other than that, like we didn't really, because we didn't see the movie, we weren't like, we wanted to. If the line was only like 15, 20 minutes, maybe, but I think it was still like a 45-minute to an hour wait.
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember, but that was the last. We kind of went in, and we almost in all of them. Now I think about it, other than Hollywood Studios, we went from right to left. So as soon as we walk in, we went to whatever was right. Just worked our way around.
You worked your way around, yeah.
And so by then, that was the first day. I was tired. So we walked through the Pandora thing. We're like, okay, this is cool. Took a few pictures. Where's the bus?
Yeah, honestly, we were back to the hotel by like 5, 6 o'clock every night. And like we mentioned, we didn't have kids, so we were on our own time. And our interests are very specific. So it's like we always were able to see anything and everything we wanted to see at all of the parks and be back at the resort for bed.
Yeah, like we got to go through a lot, and it was easy because we could just weave in and out of people, kids. And so it was nice. We're like, and then we'd look at some screaming kid and be like, yep. No, thanks. We're good. Fine.
So day 3, what park did you do on day 3?
That was
Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did you guys like Magic Kingdom? That's my favorite Magic Kingdom.
It was fun. Like I enjoyed it. I mean, it was cool seeing the castle because I had never seen it, and I'm like, that's a lot bigger than I thought it was.
We'll have to eat at the restaurant in the castle, or I feel bad. Like I kind of wish we were able to eat at the Beauty and the Beast one because that is my second favorite Disney movie. But it was one expensive, which really wasn't a big deal. But two, you needed 2 sets and an appointment for that restaurant, and a lot of their appointments were needed to be made the day before.
And we didn't find that out until the last day.
Yeah.
That you could do it the day before because we were like, how are we supposed to get in there? So that one, we learned that at the very end.
Due to COVID, and I realized this when we were in, I think the Disney Junior section, like there's a little Disney Junior nook that has like, I only knew the one girl, it was Doc McStuffins.
Oh, back there by Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, that was a Hollywood studio though.
Oh, was that Hollywood?
Yeah. No, it's just like they would. Like, you didn't really see a lot of the characters like you see in the commercial, and I get because of COVID, like they would come out, but they would always be gated off.
Yeah.
So like there was none of you see the pictures of the commercials. Obviously, this is before COVID, where you get to hug them and they're around, and but you can't do that.
And it made me feel so bad thinking because the girl I used to babysit loved Doc McStuffins. Like I'd watch that show with her all the time, and it made me feel so bad thinking if I was there with her, she wouldn't be able to go up and hug Doc McStuffins.
Or just any kid, really. They're not going to understand. Like, they finally go, they're not going to understand. So that, I mean, so, like, some of the magic to that really wasn't there because, you'd see them, and they'd poke out for a minute or two, and then that was it. Or, and then, like, they did some of the random parades, but maybe they always did this, but they were only in the right in front of the castle. Like, they would come out on a float, drive around the statue of was it Walt Disney and
Walt Disney and Mickey holding hands.
And then they go back out, and then that was it. I thought they went all through the park because I told her, I was like, there's no random things because we saw when we first got there was one like of a barbershop quartet. I remember what they were saying. So like they came in, and then we started walking around. I'm like, I haven't seen any other random encounters or whatever you want to call it. And then I was like, oh, maybe it's only in the front. And then we went up there and they had a few more. And I was like, maybe this is just because of COVID, they just do it there, or maybe that's how they always did it. I wasn't really sure.
I mean, it was kind of nice that they did that. I think they had something like that every 20 minutes because I noticed as he and I weaved in and out of like the shops and stuff, a new one would start, and then another one would start as we were walking away. So
okay.
Yeah, because of COVID, they kind of did away with the parades, and then you brought the cavalcades, which are what you guys saw.
And even before the COVID, you could not, like, if a character was walking down the street, normally you would have to wait in a line to meet the characters. Because I know out in California, they would just be walking around and you can approach them. Because I know that was one of my big thing whenever I went to Disney first time I ever went. I was like I can't even go up to the characters because it's like they have security guards around them because they're trying to get them to their spot because people always try to stop the characters all the time. So, yeah, that's hard.
What rides did you guys do there?
Space Mountain, that was the first one. What was the other one? You know, I had a list for this, but since I can't open her computer, I don't remember. I didn't write them down. Not in there. What else we do? Oh, we didn't do the Seven Dwarfs roller coaster, but we did the other one, the
Thunder Mountain.
Thunder Mountain. That's
Mountain.
it.
That is my favorite.
Love that ride,
especially at night when they crank it up.
The Haunted Mansion was fun. I enjoyed that one.
Is that the Pirates of the Caribbean one too?
No,
that there too? No,
that was there. The Pirates of the Caribbean was cool, but it was kind of a letdown. Like once we were going through it, it looked cool. I'm like, okay, here comes the best part of the ride, like the big climactic end, and the end was literally just pulling up to get off. I was like, what's the rest of it?
Jack Sparrow looks so cool in there. Like they did a really good job. Even in Haunted Mansion, it looked really good. But yeah, like Haunted Mansion was, I think, my second favorite, and it is completely different than the one in California, by the way. So when I went into this, I was like, yeah, I went to this one in California. I know what to expect. And then I'm going through, I was like, this is nothing like the California one. So that's actually really nice. If you do end up doing both, you're going to get something different. But yeah, the Pirates of the Caribbean one, you went through the little, no spoilers, but you went through like this really cool section, get kind of splashed with water, making you feel like you're in it. And then you're like, oh man.
We're getting on. That's it. I told her though, because some of those, especially in Pirates of the Caribbean, they looked real. Like you're looking, and I told her, I said, it'd be really cool. What they should do is randomly have like a real person in there. Because you expect, they're all animatronics, to put like one person in there and really kind of throw you off. Even especially
Halloween, they sometimes throw real people in.
Oh, do they? Okay. I kept looking at the first Jack Sparrow, and I'm like, I think that's a real guy.
And then we went. I think actually, we went from Haunted Mansion to like It's a Small World to like Pirates of the Caribbean.
That is way too long of a ride. She's like, it's only like a 5-minute wait. I'm like, what is it? She's like, you'll see. I saw, and I'm like, it's okay. This is a little much.
Yeah, the Small World ride is bigger than the one in California. A lot longer than the one in California. And even I looked at him, I was like, I am so sorry.
Yeah, that one kept going, and that one, I'm pretty sure haunts my dreams still because it's the same song.
You can tell it's a bit older. It's still cute, but you can tell it's older because some of the little hula girls were like, yeah, whereas the other one was like,
some of them needed some more maintenance than other ones. You could tell.
Notice the hippo, the one eye would shut a little bit.
Hippo? Yes, because the old lady behind us was like, look, the hippo's winking. I'm like, it's broken.
So to answer your question, they haven't fixed it. He's still blinking a little weird.
There's people that don't want it fixed.
Yeah, they don't want it.
They love it the way it is.
Yeah, the way it is. So go ahead.
Oh no, I rode that once and that was plenty. Never ever have to do that again.
So what was the next park you guys went to? What was day number 4?
Epcot.
Yeah.
Epcot.
Oh, she smiled when she said
Epcot.
Epcot.
Yeah.
That one.
You guys liked Epcot?
That one was my favorite.
It was our favorite. We went there I think we got there in the opening hour, and we were there past sunset.
The longest. Yeah.
Yeah.
We ended up, that was one I didn't really know exactly what to expect, and I told her, I was like, this one ended up being my favorite one. So I think we rode the most rides. Like it was probably 3-4 o'clock before we even started going through all the different countries. I'm like, we haven't even left the beginning part. Like we were back and forth, and I think we rode a lot of the stuff there. So that one was a lot of fun.
It was also
was there still a lot of Was there still a lot of walls up in the front?
Yeah.
Was there? Okay.
Yeah. So whatever, I think because they're adding another space ride. It didn't say in the app, but it said on the brochure. But yeah, there's a couple big walls
under construction. Yeah, they're adding.
Okay. You said that was a big golf ball. Did you ride what was inside?
Yeah, we rode that at the very end. We're getting ready to leave, and I'm like, "Hey, there's a ride in there. Let's go ride that one."
15 minutes. It wasn't even 15 minutes. I don't think. And it was really a gorgeous ride.
That one was fun. My favorite one was the Chevy Test Track. I didn't know what that was, and I was like, "Let's do that one." And that one was a lot of fun. And
we made the ugliest one.
Oh yeah, we made the absolute ugliest car we could. It looked more like a pod racer from Star Wars than an actual car.
It had 2 engines on the side because those I don't know where the driver was going to go because those doors were not opening. And then the big old speedy things in the back, and it was the ugliest.
It had at least like 7 jet engines on it. This thing was not road ready for sure. But then the kids behind us, they were 6 or 7, and they put their car in, because it loads up the picture and whatnot, and they beat us in the first thing. And I'm like, I looked at her, I said, ours is all about speed.
He's
so
like, nasty speed. And I'm like, okay.
So needless to say, we beat the 6-year-old cars, and I was pretty proud of myself for it. So, and I mean, it was fun going out there. The only thing that was kind of weird at the end was they had they had a couple of Camaros and actual ones that you go look at. Yeah. Well, they're actually car dealers. That was a little weird.
Yeah, the kid was like, so.
Yeah, he's like trying to sell us his truck. Well, I'm just trying to look at a Camaro here. I'm like, gee. Like, I don't have any money because I'm in Disney. Like, I don't need another car. So that part was kind of weird. Mm-hmm. Other than that, that was probably my favorite ride there.
That was
fun. Yeah, just the weird car dealers at the end was a little like, so anybody, I would do that, look at the cars from afar, but unless you want to be bothered, just keep walking.
Yeah. Did you guys go on soaring?
Mm-hmm. That one was fun.
That was so nice. Like, so I will admit I'm a hypochondriac. I took motion sickness pills like every day because I hadn't ridden a roller coaster since I think I was like 18. Wow. And so I'm like, we're standing in line, I'm popping this because I'm looking at the test track as it's like zooming around. So I'm like popping a pill like in case. But yeah, I'm glad I took a motion sickness pill for that because it does stick you in front of that big screen. Yep. But it was so cool. They give you all the different scents of like grass and then the jasmine. And it was a gorgeous ride.
We were in the middle row and I'm like, how are we supposed to see anything? Because all I could see were the seats behind us. I had no idea they were going to like pick you up.
You guys had time.
Oh, they were So you guys didn't get the bent Eiffel Tower, did you?
We got the straight.
No, we got the straight one, yeah.
Everything is like all cockeyed whenever you said.
Oh no, we were in the middle row in the center one, yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I didn't know what to expect, and I'm just like, this is a terrible view.
And then whenever you guys did the showcase, what'd you think of going around to the different countries?
Oh, that was
fun. I wish it would have been really cool if they had like a cart even at each one for like a sampler, like a food or a drink or something of that particular one. Some of them just had a store. Some of them didn't have really of anything.
Yeah, because you were between festivals.
Yeah, like just it would be really cool if it was or something like not a bar crawl, but I was looking like something like something that you like a stamp that you could get at each one if you went and had a pastry from it or something.
When you guys left, just shortly after Festival of the Arts started, and you usually do get some kind of booklet, and you can try this, try that, and then you get a stamp at the end. You get something.
There were some tents, but they were all closed. I think we went the day before because there's something about a popcorn bucket that people were waiting. That was the day after, and we're like, it's a popcorn bucket. I didn't know what it was, but we missed all the excitement for that.
And it sold out within a week. They're already sold out of the popcorn bucket. It's crazy.
We missed out on that. We should have went back
What was your favorite country? Honestly, so as you can see, I am all about Japan and anime, right?
I knew that. I knew she would love Japan.
what's interesting is I thought that would have been my favorite one, but there was nothing educational really about Japan because what they had in their little museum display is
looked
stuff,
like that.
looked like this. And this is, yes, it's what America associates Japan with, but that's actually not what's all about Japan. Japan is very much traditional. I don't know. I like Norway, actually.
That was my favorite, too.
Norway.
They had good pastries, and they had the little section that talked about Norse mythology.
Yeah.
So, and I always liked that. Odin and Loki and all that. And it was kind of funny because, like, you go in there and you read about it, and, of course, there's a lot of kids in Marvel, and they're like, that's not how it is. I'm like, actually, this is how it is. Marvel changed it up a little bit, but it was just funny to kind of hear like, oh no, I'm like, that's not really how that works. But that was my favorite. Except they had like the Frozen ride in it. I was kind of hoping they were going to have like more Viking things in it or stuff like that. When they put a ride in any particular country, it was all about that ride. So like Paris was all about the ratatouille and whatnot. So it was like I said, it would have been really cool if they had even like a little stand for each one so you could sample something from that as opposed to, you know, one had a restaurant. And I think it was Morocco.
School bread. Is that from France? The school bread?
No, that was Norway.
That's Norway.
It looks like a bagel with coconut on top. Has coconut on top. It looks like a bagel. It's a donut and it has coconut on top.
It was probably in there because we did find the pastry thing and they had apple cake and that's all I saw. So I got the apple cake and I was out the door.
Yeah, I was actually hoping to get a couple different things from Norway, but then I noticed they didn't wrap anything. They stuck it all on a paper plate for you. So I was like, oh, okay, this is good enough. We literally had dinner in Japan anyways. So I whatever little cake I got, it was like vanilla with like.
It was good.
It was really good. Whatever. I need like 5 more.
That's after we ate too, and we almost went back again. But I was like, we still have to walk back to the bus. Like, I don't know if this is such a good idea.
That Japanese restaurant we went to, sadly to say, I probably won't go back unless I'm not feeling so hot and sushi's really what I want because they give you just a small amount of food for not a lot of money, and we spent exactly after tips, $70.
Yeah,
that is
what restaurant was that?
The cool Japanese actually is my phone was on here. I still have the text message where I made the reservation.
It a fancy one, was it? It wasn't like upstairs. Was it upstairs?
It was upstairs. Yeah.
Oh,
they had the grill, and then there was the store. It starts with a K, but I can't remember something.
Almost like Kyoto something.
Yeah, I don't remember, but
yeah, it has like the hibachi section, which you can get hibachi here in the city at any time, and then the restaurant section on the right hand side. And I'm like, man, I want sushi from like the ocean that is literally an hour away, and about $30 for a thing of sushi, and then.
I mean, it wasn't bad. I don't think it was worth how much we paid for it, but it was good. But no, I wish we would have went to the Italian and I could have got chicken parmesan, but
France was nice. Can you get to the Eiffel Tower from the France section?
No, it's on top of like a building.
Oh, okay. We would have saved a lot of time if we had known that because we're walking around. I'm like, where'd it go?
Yeah, I really wanted to see it.
So did you guys did you really look in all the pavilions?
The best we could. I mean, some were busier than others, and then France was busy, and then I think Morocco was pretty much closed up. Like it was, like there you could go in one. They had like a mini museum that you'd walk in. It was something about like the big whoever does the big trail thing and racing, but that was it. Everything else was locked up. Any stores, the restaurant, or whatever was next to it.
A lot of stands.
But Morocco was really that one. Like we looked, we're like, there's nothing, there's no stores, there's no restaurants. It was just that little section. So we walked in there, and that was really the only one. I mean, the other stuff was closed, but like that one was really one was closed up.
Closed. They had like a rug shop, which would have been really cool to go into, but you couldn't get into the rug shop.
What would you have done with the rug, anyways?
Laid it on the floor.
I would have had to carry that.
You would have had to accept it. What are you talking about?
No.
So did you guys do Remy Ratatouille ride or no?
No, we didn't ride any of those ones. Like I think a lot of the rides, everything we rode was at the front.
Yeah.
Like we went through the aquarium.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what it was called, but it was the boat ride through like their greenhouses. Like I didn't know that they were
living with the land. I love that ride.
I didn't realize how much they were involved with like different things like that. So that was really cool. And then actually go through and see it and whatnot. So that was fun. Like I said, we spent a lot of time at the front of Epcot, and I was like, this ended up being like the dark horse one that we knew nothing about and ended up spent the most time there.
Yeah.
So that one was my favorite for sure.
Did you do the UK and Canada and all that? Well, you guys lived here by Canada.
Yeah, I liked the Canada shop. Like everything was in plaid. And
Yeah,
it was
you could flannel everything.
And maple.
There was in the United Kingdom one, there was a chess set. And there was a good thing there was a line because I saw it and it was kind of expensive. But I couldn't get too close to it, or I probably would have spent the $200 on the medieval King Arthur chess set. I'm like, we need to go because keep moving. Like they had the coolest store, I would say. I forgot about that until just they had mentioned that. That one was pretty cool.
Did you guys stay for the fireworks?
We didn't have to because we could watch them from the hotel. Every night we could sit right there. Like I tried to take a picture, but my phone is terrible at taking pictures. Like it looked like it was miles away, but literally it was right there.
Right there.
And we could see everything. We could sit right every night. We got to watch the fireworks. Well, except for me on the first night because I was too busy
sleeping.
But
I can especially because of the fireworks and everything, why people will actually have the park hopper pass, especially if you've gone already a couple of times. Because 75% of the parks are like either food or shops, and all the shops have pretty much the same stuff in them. But you're able to, with a park hopper pass, knowing what you're going into, you're able to go to whatever park you want to go to, and then end your day looking at fireworks if that's your thing. So I can definitely see.
So yeah, but we looked out. We got to see them every night. Didn't have to deal with the crowds or the buses. We just got to sit there.
Yeah.
So that part was nice.
So the next park you guys went to was Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
How'd you guys like Hollywood Studios?
Other than Star Wars, well, see, we made the mistake. Like we talked about, if we go again, what we want to do is go like a Tuesday to Tuesday and do like 2 parks and then have the weekend to stay away from the parks and just either relax at the resorts and recuperate.
Go to the ocean.
And because by day 4, after walking all day for the last 2 days, and then Friday, because we went to Hollywood Studios on Friday, the difference between Thursday and Friday with the crowds was huge. So on top of walking for 3 straight days before this and the bigger crowds, like we were pretty burnt out. So but we made it to Star Wars, and that's really all I really cared to see. Like we walked.
That's what he always told me.
But we booked it straight for Star Wars as soon as we got there. Yeah. So we got to do that, and that was my favorite part.
Get the droid.
Did you get your lifesaver?
We did not get one because
you didn't tell me. You told me you were going to get one.
Well, we were going to, but we go up there, and again, that's where we found out about the reservations, and they were booked for the day. So we got the droid.
Yeah.
So he got his droid.
So you got a droid.
And they had a little area, like a mingling area. After you built it, you could go out with other people's droids because we didn't know they would interact with each other. And then if you leave them on during the ride, they're supposed to interact with the ride too. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and it's a lot cheaper by like $150 to build your own droid. So, and honestly, so I did the build your lightsaber when I went to California, and I only spent $50. Well, the whole thing's plastic. This one, they're a lot more authentic. But if you know about Ultra Sabers, honestly, your best bet to save a little money and get a higher quality lightsaber is to go
through them, because we have a couple of those because we go to conventions and whatnot. And like I was able to, like, I understand the experience of going and building it in the Star Wars setting, but looking at them and the price they are, it's really not worth that. You can get a much cooler one for a lot cheaper or the same price, but you're going to get a higher quality one.
The handles from people, like the handles are plastic, whereas the Ultra Saber gives you actual metal on the handle.
Like they're actually machined. So that's just us. I mean, but I get the experience. Like I would still probably do it just to build it there. But like looking, it was kind of like almost a blessing because how expensive we were. I'm like, but we got a droid instead, and I didn't have to carry a lightsaber around. So
yeah. Well, the other thing, we were hearing when you were down there, the lightsabers, they used to give you like a little carrying case. Well, they did away with those.
No, you pay for
them in plastic bags.
Yeah.
Because everybody that built one we saw was either carrying it in their backpack or carrying it in a plastic bag. Whereas if you go through the store, you're able to actually purchase the actual lightsaber bag, which I guess if you're spending $250 on a lightsaber, you might as well spend the extra $35 on the bag.
Right. So that was kind of expensive. And then we got on the.
Well, they want to see the puppy.
Is that a new
outfit?
Yeah, she's
I think that was when we babysat, but he being babysat somewhere else. We just had lots of cats.
Oh, the kid. Yeah.
So the Rise of the Resistance ride, that was the first thing. We flew there, got in line. It was like an hour wait. I said I didn't care. We flew 1,500 miles. Like, I'm gonna wait an hour. It's fine. We go all the way through it. We do the beginning part with the transport. We get ready to do the next part, and the ride breaks down. And I'm like, I looked at Tara, and I'm like, we come this far, and if they shut it down for the rest of the day, I'm gonna be so upset. So like we waited and waited and waited, and then they kind of took us back into the hangar, which was cool, so we get more pictures. And like we were they had a little mini bathroom break line, so we were able to talk to the one of the workers, and they said that it's very notorious for breaking down, and it has good days and bad days. He said some days it works great, other days you'll have minor hiccups. He said other days it just will not work. So I thought that was interesting that they had so much trouble with it, but luckily after that it started working, so we got to do it, which was worth it. But I was going to be so upset if it stayed broke down for the whole day, and I'd have been like, but it was fun. It's definitely worth, even if you're not a Star Wars fan, to do that ride. It is really neat.
Oh yeah.
Especially with no track. Like I was like, there's no track. The all magnetic floor and everything. I was like, that's pretty cool.
It's smooth. Like it was really cool.
And I didn't know it has two endings. I didn't know that. So
did that drop too, where you feel like you're dropping?
Yeah, when you're on the little escape pod. Yeah, that was that, and going up the turbo lift. Like they back you in it, shoot you up that. I was like, that was pretty cool. But that one was fun. The Smuggler's Run was pretty fun too, but I could see it's definitely not as good as the Rise of the Resistance one. So, but it was definitely it was fun. Got to see some of the stormtroopers, like they stayed up on the stage and whatnot. But we kept watching videos of again, this is before COVID, where they would come up to like groups of people and like take away somebody. And I was so excited for that, and of course they couldn't do it. I was like,
yeah.
But I mean, at least you got to see some of them, and that was pretty cool. And I felt sorry for the guy that was dressed in the Chewbacca outfit because it wasn't too warm, but I still can't imagine walking around in that is comfortable. But no, it was fun. And then other than that, like we walked through Hollywood Studios, and we did a lot more like store hopping.
Hey Danielle.
So. Yeah, I would say we went through a lot of the stores in Hollywood Studios, if anything, in Star Wars. That was really what we did most of there. But just after being day 4 and it being so much busier, like we got to do what we wanted to do. And we're like, you know what? Let's go relax.
That's because Festival of the Arts started, and a lot more people came down there for that. So that's
Plus Run that weekend.
Was they left. They got there
before.
The Run was done when they got there.
Yeah, so we lucked out because if you think about it, you have the holiday goers, and then that weekend it was, I think, the 5K, which I've heard like from YouTubers that I've watched, they actually do the 5K, and the medals are actually really cool that you get.
We saw a lot of people walking around with the medals.
Yeah, and then those people were pretty much gone, I think, by like Tuesday, and so we had like a nice gap. I mean, seriously, even with it being Disney, and there were a lot of people, but I looked at them, I was like, this
was the best time to go.
Yeah.
Like, it was warm, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we said, we would decide if it would be like a Wednesday to Wednesday or Tuesday to Tuesday. Do 2 of them, take the weekend to just relax, go to the pool, go see something else, and then go back. Because doing all of them back to back like we did, Like by the end, I was overseeing little kids in strollers and motorized carts, which any restaurant ride, it was like going to Bike Week with all the different strollers and the different carts. I was like, there's so many of them.
I didn't know that there was like a stroller parking designated area.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
And they're so trusting.
Yeah,
people left a lot of their stuff on those baby buggies.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to go for a ride. I can barely see that off the phone. So
yeah, she says congratulations on your marriage. Disney is the perfect place
for
honeymoon.
Yeah, I brought her back. So
yeah. Actually, today just tomorrow, the 23rd. The 23rd marks our 5-year anniversary of being together.
Oh,
you remember that.
All right, you guys are done with the park, so I guess we'll go back to some other questions. What Disney transportation did you guys use?
Just the transports that the resorts provided, whatever buses there were, because they had like you go down and it would say on the like this one's taking you to Animal Kingdom, this one's taking you to Magic Kingdom, and it had like a screen telling you what time they were supposed to be there. So whatever they just provided us from the resort, that's what we used, and just stick with that. We didn't. Like they gave us like the resort gave us like a thing for like free mini golf and whatnot, but we weren't really sure where it was. And we didn't know how to get there, where it was, and we didn't really want to leave the resort, and we didn't rent a car because we didn't have to pay for it. So I was like, well, oh well.
Well, did you guys go on the Skyliner at least just to ride it?
What
like
that's
kind of thing?
No, we weren't really sure where it went. We kept hearing people talk about Disney Springs, which I didn't know what that was really.
Oh, you guys didn't go to Disney Springs?
We didn't know what it was, or if we had to pay for extra, or what it was.
No, it was like a whole bunch of shopping and restaurants.
Yeah, it was a shopping.
The boardwalk was.
Boardwalk, it has some restaurants and you can walk around, but it's like its own, like it used to be called Downtown Disney, but then they changed it to Disney Springs, and like there's like an M&M store. There's all kinds of.
Don't tell us about it now. So.
Is that where the Barbie Celebration Town is as well?
It used to be there, but it's no wait. That was Epcot, wasn't it?
I know Epcot had a Barbie thing to it years ago.
Like there's the Barbie house, and then there was like Celebration Town.
Well, Celebration's its own little town.
Yeah, but I don't know if it had the Barbie. I don't know that one.
Doug, you were telling me you wanted to eat somewhere for your. You got her. Somewhere for your honeymoon dinner. Did you guys do that somewhere?
I don't know if we kind of did. I think it was really the Japan restaurant because she was so excited about it. So like we made sure to eat there, and it ended up unfortunately being like the letdown one. But it was all really good, but we didn't really do that kind of plan like we wanted to. It was more so like let's just eat somewhere different each night.
Yeah.
And then whatever else we want, we'll just eat Doritos and snacks that we brought. So like that's essentially what we did.
Honestly, it was just really nice for us to get away. You know what I mean? Like I get kind of down in the dumps in the wintertime, and this was a really nice time, especially after such a big change in our lives, because a lot happened in the year. We got married, I had taken a new job, and then we had to move. So it was actually really nice to just step away, take a breather. And I'm really fortunate once again to have the job that I had, because they didn't even contact me. Like I even kind of once in a while snuck in and checked my emails. They made sure to not even email me. Whereas my last job, if I took time away, I got a phone call almost like every day that I was off on vacation, and they didn't even send me emails. So it was really nice to just focus on us and have a good time. And yeah, we called mom and dad, but it was like, that was it. Like,
yeah, it was nice to get away because it had been pretty stressful with everything. So it was nice to just go and do it and then kind of just not worry about anything else. So that was good. I mean, just that alone was.
I'll be driving. Well, be careful when you're driving, Danielle.
Yeah, he's driving and listening.
So we found out Epcot was her favorite park.
Yeah, that's like for grown-ups kind. I mean, they're trying to bring more rides there so that way the kids can come over. Because I know whenever we went down with the high school kids, they hated Epcot.
Yeah,
because there's nothing to do at Epcot. But we loved Epcot.
We said that too. This feels like a park for adults, and it really was. The more educational things, that's what makes us feel old. I was like, I'm officially an adult because I'm enjoying the educational rides.
Yeah.
It finally happened.
So overall, over everything at Disney, what was the most overwhelming thing? Like, it was just like, ugh.
I think the first day,
the first day,
we're here.
Like,
now what?
Yeah, didn't know what to do. Like, you get off the plane, you get your stuff, you get on the bus, you hope they're taking the right thing. They drop you off at your resort. Okay, what do you do now? Like, that was probably it. So of course, like, we found coffee and sat there for a minute, but yeah, that was probably, and there's not knowing like how it works. Like they said, yeah, the buses are over there. Well, okay.
Okay, lady,
what does that mean? Like, so after, the first day was kind of overwhelming, and then once you kind of, after we went to Animal Kingdom and figured out, oh, okay, the buses, they make it pretty easy to understand. This one will take you here at this time. What after the first day, we were pros. Like, oh, okay, we got it. We'll go down here. It's fine. We know what we're doing now. But yeah, I'd say the first day, just because you didn't know really where to start or how it even worked. They're like, okay, yeah, the buses will take you. Okay, did they bring us back? Like
So basically, you just stuck at your resort and you just went to the different parks. You didn't
pretty
go.
Much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because like we mentioned, like we were on our schedule, so I'm really glad that we picked Animal Kingdom, which is one of the smaller parks, for the first day, so that way we can acclimate to the weather, the just the park itself and the excitement, and then get to know the maps. So I'm really glad that they have it so organized as first goers, because we were able to function around with the app, the map, and then that's it, and the bus systems that had everything on a screen for you.
Yeah, it's overwhelming, but once you see it done once, it's really easy to be like, oh, okay, that's not bad and whatnot. And then we figured, we thought about the park hopper. You know what? We're going to go one park a day, whether we don't like it or not. Like, we'll make the best of that, because I had never been to any of them. I'm like, well, we'll just make the best of that one. I said, just because, especially when you have to wait for the buses sometimes, you wait a long time. And so I was like, nope, we're just going to, whatever, even if we found this, whatever park, like, this one's not fun at all. Nope, we're here. We'll find something interesting and whatnot. But we didn't get to go to Universal, because when we did the arrangements to go, it was still closed. And looking back, we're glad we didn't, because the 4 days in a park was enough. I don't know if we would have been able to handle a fifth day.
Right.
And
with a lot of
so we figured next time for sure. But so it was upsetting we didn't go to Universal, but at the same time, it was nice that we didn't, because our patience had run pretty thin by then.
I'm very high energy, so I'll like power walk everywhere and go.
She wasn't that last day.
On the last day. And I noticed, like, within the first hour and a half of being somewhere, my feet were already hurting. So it's like,
there's nothing can prepare you for all the walking.
No, there's a ton of walking.
You do like 10 11 miles a day or more.
Like, oh man. Like, I wanted to steal one of the buggies, because I'm like, well, I could start walking with the limp. Maybe they'll give me one or something, no problem.
It blew my mind. Like, the buggies and the wheelchairs were all on average like $30 to rent out. And I feel so bad thinking, if I had a kid that, got tired and I needed to rent out a buggy for grandma, because grandma wanted to enjoy the family vacation, that's $30 a day for a wheelchair or a stroller.
But day 4, $30 is money well spent with my feet hurting. That's fine. I would gladly pay that to drive around. Not a problem.
You guys have like a most enjoyable time or an enjoyable moment when you were there?
My favorite, I don't know about hers, my favorite wasn't even at the parks, actually. It was at the resort after I had felt better. She wanted to go for a walk, so we walked through the Coronado, the walkway there, and we stopped. They had the big pool and whatnot, and we got like a frozen alcoholic drink. I don't remember what it was. And
the Emerald or something.
It's something, but it was really good. And it was basically, we just got that and walked around at night, like after being up here with the winter, and I felt better. Like, it was nice out. Like, like I said, all the stress from just everything with the move, the wedding, the job change. Like, that was probably my favorite part. It wasn't even at the Disney parks. Like, the rest of it was fun, but that was the first time we really just kind of relaxed, and it was just us. It was quiet. You know, like, that was my favorite. I don't know about her, but that was my most enjoyable. And it is ironic that we went to Disney World, and I remember that the most over everything else. It wasn't even there. It was just walking, which is ironic because I always complain when she wants to go for a walk at night. But so I thought that was funny. But
it is actually really nice. And I do think more and more on the topic. We will probably go Tuesday to Tuesday, so that way we can enjoy the quiet moments like that and just enjoy not having to rush. You know what I mean? And that was really nice being able to walk at night. And, you know, I'd look in the water because the signs say alligators and snakes when really they're not in there. You know?
Yeah, and she looked because they say stay in the sidewalk, and this one's down there. I'm like, would you get out of there?
The sign says stay off the grass.
And she's over there looking for one.
Never saw one. I don't think they're there.
They're there.
They're there.
They're there.
They pulled some gators out.
Yeah, they pulled out. We saw 80 gators last year or something like that during COVID.
They're in there.
We did go to the wrong place.
A little boy got
Yeah.
taken by one.
Yeah.
He was on the beach while there was no.
But that was over on the other lake.
That was in Grand Floridian.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
they're in there.
she didn't believe me. I'm like, it can happen. No, I can't.
I think that would be mine too. Just being able to step out of the resort and be able to enjoy.
Is that kitty still around?
What's that?
Is that cat still around?
Yeah.
Which one? Oh yeah,
That's Mina.
Hi, Mina.
I'm assuming this is Andy because of his one comment.
Oh, that's crooked.
There you go.
Okay, I know it's expensive. So besides the prices, what was like the least favorite part of the trip?
Dealing with all the people. Like, you cannot cross the street because everybody was going in every different direction. Like, that was very annoying for somebody that likes to walk in a straight line. Like, I just want to get
Hi, Liz. Sorry, I was wrong.
What your least favorite part was?
Oh, part or park?
Park.
Did you ask what part?
Oh,
See, I was
part.
right.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
part. I just want to cross the street, but it was like you just couldn't do that. Like, and it just got to me. That was my least favorite part.
I think it is. I think that might be mine. Kind of falls in that category too, because I am very spatial. I have a lot of spatial awareness, and I have almost like this 2-foot bubble rule. And a lot of people aren't aware of what they're doing, especially if they have a child stroller without a child in it. And it's frustrating for someone like me that tries really hard to be conscious of people and my actions. When you have, you know, the local Karen with the baby stroller full of your souvenirs, and when little Timmy is over here, like 5 feet away from you, and your buggy is to the left when you're facing right. You know what I mean? And then you've got the ones that just kind of stroll along with the buggy at an angle. And it's just like, you're walking in the middle and then you stop in the middle of the road. You know, I think that might be mine as well.
It was just amazing how people are oblivious to that they're in somewhere with so many people, and they just take up so much space. It's like, I don't know. At first, it wasn't too bad, but after like day 3 or 4, an hour, 28 or 30 of walking, that really starts to take a toll. But other than that, but even that wasn't that bad. That's more of a pet peeve than really there really, surprisingly, there wasn't anything that wasn't terrible. I mean, the prices, like you said, but if you go there knowing full well that you're going to spend money and you
which we did
allocate for that, or, you know, it's really not that bad. Honestly, I don't think we spent as much as we thought we would because it was just us.
I haven't looked at the credit card.
Oh, wow.
So which park was your least favorite park?
I was disappointed with Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's because that was the day I realized 75% of the parks are all shopping with the same items in the shops, and then 25, and then also like food, and then I don't know, like I think we went with different expectations of seeing the characters walk around, seeing the magic of everything, and it's like maybe if I was like 20 years younger, you know what I mean, I'd see magic in it. But now I'm in my 30s, and the castle's gorgeous, though. I will give it that.
After getting to see the castle and some of the stuff, like it was really neat. But I mean, we don't have children, so the magic of your child getting to see what they want to see, like we didn't have to worry about that because it was just us.
It's so true.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, I wouldn't say it was. Every one of them had their ups and downs. I don't know if there was really one that was my least favorite or whatnot, or I was disappointed. But yeah, like they all had their ups and downs. For us, I mean, I guess if I had to pick one, it would probably be actually Hollywood Studios, other than Star Wars, because I was so excited for Star Wars. Once I saw that, like, some of the roller coasters were cool and all, but after going to places like Cedar Point and whatnot, like I didn't feel like waiting in line for these roller coasters when I've been on the ones at Cedar Point that were. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it was cool. I enjoyed it. But once I saw Star Wars, like I was fine. I was like, okay, it's cool to see some of the shops, but that was it.
I think Star Wars
was my favorite section, but my least favorite park. I guess if that makes any sense. It seems kind of strange, but once we saw that, and I was like, I wasn't excited to see anything else from there because I am such a huge Star Wars fan. I didn't really care to see anything else.
I think Star Wars. Yes, we have Epcot. Like Epcot as a whole is my favorite, but I was focused on Star Wars more for him, and it ended up being my favorite section as well. Yeah, that's Lex. Big caddy. He was climbing on some of the figures that
I'm surprised you've only seen 2 out of the 5.
Yeah. What did you guys learn on this trip that you didn't know? Because I know, Doug, you would ask me questions and I would tell you this or that. And I think your aunt and uncle would go.
Yeah, they go. They're huge into the pin collecting, which I didn't even know was a thing until I went to their house one day and they had tables upon tables of pins. I didn't even know it was a thing. So,
we got ours.
we pulled that pin there too.
Marriage, and then,
the thing that I didn't know, I guess, was about the farming and the agriculture. Like I didn't know that they were so involved in that, and that was really cool.
That's actually really nice, especially since today a lot of people, depending on the generation, they're very focused on keeping preserving the earth and keeping everything here in America, and so finding ways to not over farm and over fish in the oceans and stuff like that. It's actually really nice seeing that Disney not only has its own zip code, but they're also making sure to provide for themselves rather than outsourcing. And I thought that was actually really, really nice.
Yeah, Disney has their own watering system. Disney has their own fire
company.
Yeah, they have their power company.
Like everything. I told her, I said, lack for a better word, it is its own world. I didn't realize it's Disney Police, Disney everything. And I was like, it really is like its own self-sustaining area. I don't know how else to really, I just didn't like
to go there whenever there's a hurricane, because they know if they stay on Disney property, they'll have electricity, water, because it's like
it's the safest place to go if there's a hurricane.
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't know that either. That's pretty cool.
Okay, you kind of answered this, but would you guys go back?
Probably 3 to 5 years from now. We actually talked about that on the plane. Probably 3 to 5 years, so that way we could do the park hopper, see the boardwalk and Disney Springs, and then go to Universal. And then actually, I like the ocean. I'd like to see the ocean again.
Now that we know how it works and what we enjoyed and didn't enjoy, I would go back, but not every year. It would have to be a couple of years to let other attractions. Like I know Star Wars is supposed to have another one open up in 2022. So
I didn't know that.
It's one of those, like, I would go back in 3 to 5 years. We said that we would probably do that, but as far like my aunt and uncle, they go almost every year. And I'm like, I looked at her. I said, "This is fun and great, but I can't see why somebody would go back every year." To me, it was fun, but I wouldn't go back every other year. Every 3 or 5 years, when it's new attractions and certain things that we want to see, absolutely. That's why we said we would probably try to do that and change up a few things here and there. But yeah, we would go back.
That's really cool. This person said that they get 40% of their energy from solar panels.
Huh.
Yeah, they have. I forget how big that one solar farm is. They have.
I think
like we passed some of it.
Yeah, a little pro tip.
Yeah.
K Lady says from the UK it's too expensive to go every year.
Yeah.
It's expensive anywhere to go every year.
Well, you know what? When we were in I think it was the Japan section, they actually talked about how Disney is over in China.
Oh yeah, getting to see the stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, and they had a lot of pictures of Shanghai and China. Yeah, that was a lot of really cool stuff.
They
So I
have
don't know
like
what
Paris, Shanghai.
Yeah, they got Shanghai, Paris, Tokyo.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that either. Yeah, they definitely had a lot of pictures of the Shanghai one.
Yeah, so I want to go to the Shanghai one.
So okay, Doug, I know you told me one time if it's over 70 degrees, it's too hot for you.
Yes.
So how was it down there?
Only one day. It wasn't 70 most of the days. It was fine. I think it was Epcot where it was the warmest that day, and then also got the coolest that day because we were there the longest.
Yeah.
So like that was the only day that I got slightly warm, but even so, it really wasn't that bad. No, I survived, and it's one of these. It's the rule is if the temperature starts with a 7, she can't say it's only because she's really good about it's only 76 or 78. I'm like, the rule is the temperature starts with a 7, you cannot say only.
Yeah, I'm the one that was warmer, a lot warmer, but he's right. Like it ended up being perfect because we went there and it was 70 degrees and then it hit 73, then back down to 70. So it never, unless it was at night, never went below like 70 degrees. And it was overcast. And I think, there was one day where it was like really warm, and it's because there was no overcast on that 70.
Yeah, and then, even then, that really wasn't too bad. The only thing that I think we really missed because we went in January, it was great weather, but because we would get back around 5 or 6, the sun was already going down, so it was too cold to really go to the pool. Like it would cool down a lot. Like we could have, but it was like, it's pretty chilly.
There's heated pools.
Yeah, I told you they were heated pools.
I understand that they're heated pools, but we have to get out of heated pool, and that's when it's cold. So I didn't want to do that. So yeah, I knew they were heated pools.
And I guess the Coronado actually has the biggest hot tub. And it can fit between 20 to 25 people.
And there was 20 to 25 people in it. Yeah, I'm good. So yeah, I knew the pool was heated.
I actually tried to Google that and see if it was factual because, we were like, oh, heated. I think it's heated. It's heated. No, I don't know if it's heated.
Well, it was a bit of a walk. It wasn't too far, but it was enough that it would have been cold walking back from the pool to the main tower or wherever we were at. So I was like, and we thought they had an indoor one, and if they did, we couldn't find it.
I don't think they did.
So, but I mean, yeah. So
They have an indoor pool.
I have no idea.
They had like 3 of them. Like they had the main one, and then they had 2 other ones that we found when we were just being nosy and walking around. But we never found an indoor one because I thought, well, they should have an indoor one. Why wouldn't you? You have everything else. Why not an indoor pool? But they did. It was hidden well, or I couldn't find it.
All right, we're gonna get ready to wrap this up.
Yes.
So you can have the last question.
You go ahead.
Okay, do you have any tips for like anyone going for the first time or on their honeymoon or something like that?
At your wedding, if you haven't already had the wedding, ask for like if you don't really need gifts or whatnot, ask for gift cards because we did, and we got a bunch of them.
Yeah, that helped a lot, especially when we went to Star Wars World.
Yeah, because that's where we spent the most on it. We bought the droid with gift cards. And I would definitely, if you're going to go to all 4 parks, like we had talked about, split it if you can. Go Wednesday to Wednesday to give yourself that break, and don't go on the weekend because when we went Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there was a lot of people. Yes, but we never waited more than an hour for a ride or anything, and most of it was 15 or 20 minutes. So I would definitely split it so you could do like 2 parks, then have the weekend and enjoy the resort, or go to Disney Springs or wherever else where you're not in the park, and then go back the next ones after giving yourself a break. Because we didn't do that. And like I said, by the end of day 3, day 4, it was fun, but at the same time, we were over it much sooner than we were when we first got there. Between just the people, the walking, I mean, things still hurt, and we've been back for a couple weeks now. So, like, that would be my biggest thing. Would just split it up if you could, and if you haven't had your wedding yet, if it's a honeymoon, ask for the gift card, because that helped a lot.
Snacks. I'm a grazer, and I do have sensitivities. So I lived off of like protein bars and like applesauce, and I packed oatmeal. Actually, I pre-made oatmeal, and I put them in sandwich baggies and put them in our suitcase. So we had a breakfast every morning, because none of the resorts actually give you complimentary breakfast.
Well, at least the one we were at didn't.
Yeah. And so I was able to heat up water in the coffee pot, and we had oatmeal every morning for breakfast, and then we always went and stopped somewhere for food, but I had a protein bar, because you're walking a lot and you're burning a lot of calories, and that's where you're going to get really tired. So I had applesauce and protein bars in my bag. And
then, well, it makes sure you have at least one water bottle, because yes, water is $4 a bottle, but if you ask for water, or if you go, even if you don't buy the $20 ultimate refilling cup, they will give you water.
Yeah, they can't deny you water. Water's free.
So you just take your thing and fill it up, and you always have water. So,
yeah, somebody did actually. We saw a girl in a wedding dress at our resort.
Oh, that's right, we did.
Yeah,
they got here at the resort. So, ask for the pins. They gave us the happily married or what was it? I forgot what it says.
Just married.
Like, we got a lot of compliments for it. We didn't get any. We were hoping maybe they give us some. Oh, go to the front of the line, but we didn't get.
Or here's a free alcoholic drink. No, you don't get anything.
Yeah, we didn't get anything free. But
wow,
we got a lot of congratulations, and I said, well, ask me again in 5 years, but But other than that, yeah. So, but yeah, those. If I had to pick tips, that's definitely what we would do next time is split it up. I imagine if we had done it this time, it would have been a lot more fun at Hollywood Studios.
And maybe Dr. Scholl's in your tennis shoes. Like, yeah, my tennis shoes, they were kind of broken in, but they were still kind of new too. So,
no.
3, I mean, especially me being high energy, like I kept moving, so that helped.
Yeah, you were not high energy at the end.
No.
Like,
so get some Dr. Scholl's to put in your shoes.
Yeah. I almost had to go get you a buggy.
Yeah, I did start complaining a lot.
She did.
Yeah.
I was hurting.
She complains a lot at the end.
I thought I would be the one to like complain. It's hot. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. No, it was that one.
Yeah.
Are we there yet? This line is long. I'm like, really?
And it was only for the bus back to the resort is when I'd start complaining.
Oh yeah, okay. At Coronado Springs, like when you left, say Magic Kingdom, how far was the bus depot to get on for Coronado Springs?
From the
like all the way around the one side.
It really wasn't that far at all because we were in the tower, so we would just come right down the elevator. And we were in like the main lobby, and we go out the front and to the right, and there's just down some steps, and that's where it was. So it really wasn't far from where we were. But if you're staying like not in the main tower thing, if you're in one of the other the cabanas, I think they're called, but they had 4 stops. There was 4 stops at Coronado, so it stopped in 4 different spots. So it really wasn't too bad, but where we were, it wasn't bad at all. And then like leaving the resort, all the bus things, like luckily for us, the Coronado bus stop from the resorts really wasn't that far, so we didn't have to go too far to wait for the bus to get back. So like that was really good. I mean, they did a really good job getting you to and from them. I mean, I guess they've been doing this for 50 years.
Yeah.
I figured they'd have it figured out by now. But yeah, it really wasn't too bad. I was pretty impressed at how well they were able to keep people moving, whether it was in restaurant lines, store lines, attractions. I mean, I'm used to going to Cedar Point. You go to get on a roller coaster, you sit in one line for 3-4 hours, or you sit there for an hour and you never move. Like I said, I think one ride we actually kind of waited. Other than that, it never felt like as long as they said it was going to be. Like, we were constantly moving. They had a lot of stuff to look at, keep you entertained. So, like, that was really cool. I was really impressed at how well they could keep people moving. Your hands getting tired.
Yeah,
There you go.
It's because it started cutting us off.
They're awful. But, let's see. Oh, no, wrong way.
Right.
All right. Well, I guess that'll be good. It's been a little over an hour.
Yes.
So we're gonna say good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Well, it's still afternoon. It's not nighttime.
Okay. And we thank everybody for joining us, and thank you everybody for chatting with us and asking questions. And just want to say congratulations.
You two don't go anywhere.
To Doug and Tara.
Yes, congratulations.
Because we haven't seen them since the wedding, so this is so great catching up with them.
The venue you guys picked to get married was actually really nice. Yeah. Very nice.
That part was nice. I mean, it could have been better, but oh well, it was fun. We survived. Didn't have any casualties. It worked out.
So just thank you everybody for joining us, and
until next time, remember you're never too old
to be young.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.